Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about your ex must lose you. Okay? So, what you've got to ask yourself is when it comes to your ex, especially if you really want them back, is has what you've done in the past worked to get them back? So, has messaging them worked a lot? Has that made them more interested in you and want to come back? Has calling them up, showing up at their house, talking to their family members, whatever it may be that you've done in the past, has it worked in getting them back? And if nothing has worked, then and you haven't tried no contact, then that's what I suggest that you do. You have to apply no contact, and your ex must feel that you're gone in order to feel the loss. Because what you'll find is that with exes, is that especially if they wanted to leave and they were the one that dumped you, then it has to be their choice to come back. If you want your ex back, they have to come up to that. They have to make that conclusion on their own. They can't. No amount of you trying to convince them is going to change their mind. Basically, they've got to change their own mind. They made the decision to leave you. They've also got to make the decision to come back as well. So the best thing that you can do is give them space and time to miss you and think about you. And the best way to do that is to apply no contact and to walk away from them completely, and to stop messaging them, contacting them, calling them up, whatever it may be that you're doing, talking to their family members, trying to get information, whatever it may be, right? So you've got to apply no contact. And basically, no contact is no messages, no phone calls, no looking in their stories, no liking their posts on social media, no commenting. You want to be completely ghost when it comes to them. You don't want to be in their DMs whatsoever, and especially you don't want to be phoning them up and leaving voicemails or emailing them. Getting in touch on other platforms, because let's say they blocked you on Instagram or something like that, so you could then go to a LinkedIn page or his LinkedIn page and start to try and talk to them on that. No, you don't want to be doing any of that kind of thing. It just shows neediness. It just shows neediness and insecurity. So obviously you don't want to display those kinds of behaviors, because those behaviors in general are very unattractive. And basically what's happened here is that you're appearing unattractive and they're appearing more attractive. Okay? Because obviously, if they dumped you and you begged and pleaded with them, then they're the one that's sought after and desired, and you're the one that's begging and pleading. So that makes them the most attractive one, and it makes you the beggar and makes you the pauper and the least attractive one. So if you want those things to go like this, or at least switch, then you can't be doing that anymore. You can't be trying to beg and plead and try and go after them all the time. You got to switch things up and show some self-respect. That's the only way you can flip it. Okay, that's the only way you can tip the scales back into your favor and make you the more attractive one. Okay, and make them chase you. So what you'll see is that if they feel like you're gone and they feel like they've lost you, they will start chasing you. Okay, and this is something that I experienced with an ex myself. So it was a long time ago. I think it was about 9 years ago now. I had a ex that came back. So we were dating for about 3 months. We broke up because I found out that she was a compulsive liar and was just making up so much stuff about her life that just wasn't true. Like really crazy, sort of borderline crazy sort of stuff. Like she said that she had siblings that didn't exist, and she'd named them all after Formula One drivers and stuff. Things to that effect. The big things, right? Not just like the little white lie of, oh yeah, you don't look fat in those jeans when you do. It's not that kind of lie. It's like full on, like, I've made up an entire life that isn't true. So I'd never met any of her family members. And I'd never been to her house. I'd never met her parents, things like that. So I literally only ever met her out, or she came to my place. So I had no idea who this person was, essentially, because I couldn't get social proof from other people. And of course I found out all these lies, which was also kind of just incredibly crazy to me. So anyway, we broke up because of that reason. And after about 3 weeks, she tried to refriend me on Facebook. And I was thinking, well, she's probably just doing this to stalk me, whatever, I don't care. So I accepted the friend request. And then a few days later, she messaged me and was like, hey, how are you? So what you'll see when your ex is coming back, if your ex does come back, is what they'll do first is they'll test the waters like that. They'll re-add you on a social media platform that maybe they removed you from. They'll reach out to you. They'll message you. They may just start liking your posts more. They may get like other people to like inquire about you. So if you find out like your ex's friend comes up to you and starts asking you personal information, like if you're seeing anyone, it's probably because they sent them, as you know, and they're testing the waters to see how you're going to react. So that's basically what you'll see. You'll see that they'll start testing the waters first, and then they'll flat out message you, or they may just message you straight out of the gate and start talking to you that way. But that's basically what you'll see. But I think one of the things that worked for me was because I was done with the relationship, because I'd found out these things and I didn't want her back at all. I think she could sense that she'd lost me. Okay, which is why your ex must feel that they've lost you. You have to like move on genuinely. You have to get to this place of, I am moving on, I am done. And I think an ex really does feel that, okay, and can sense that. Because if, let's say, for example, you're half in, half out, you kind of want them back, sometimes you're probably going to slip up. You're going to break no contact. You may do something like their posts, or accidentally watch their stories, or butt dial them or something, or call them up when you're drunk or something. You may make mistakes if you're still holding out for hope. But if you have got to this place where you are done and you're like, I'm over it, I'm just going to move on with my life, you're not going to make these mistakes, because you're not like doing anything that's going to, you know, that for example, you're not going to be staring at their phone number, you're not going to be staring at their messages and accidentally like something, you know, or their WhatsApp won't be opened, that you've been, because maybe you've opened WhatsApp, looked at their messages, overanalyzed them, and now you've got it sort of like open on one of your screens, and you've accidentally pressed something to call them up, video call them, whatever. You're not going to be making these sort of like silly little mistakes that a lot of people do, because they're still sort of like checking back over information or looking through photos and on their social media profiles and stuff. So you accidentally click something that you're not supposed to. You're not going to do that if you're done and you're over it, because you're done and you're over it, and you're focusing on other things. You're focusing on maybe new people that you're dating, or you're focusing on other things like your work and your goals and any mission that you may have in life. You may be doing those things instead of that. So that's how your ex will feel. Like if you're gone, then they have to do something then, because if they care about you and they love you and they still want to be with you and they want a relationship with you, then what's going to happen is they're going to be like, well, where are they gone? They were messaging me like a few weeks ago. They were still in my DMs. They were still liking my posts. We were still engaging with each other in somewhat, and now they're gone completely. What's up with that? Are they gone completely? Like, I don't want to lose them. I've got to do something. Okay. Now, it may be the case that you got an ex that is completely over it and they're relieved that the breakup has happened, which may very well happen and may very well have happened. So basically, you'll just never hear from that ex again if that's the case. Okay. So you need to get to this place where they need to feel that they've completely lost you. And the best way they can do that is to genuinely move on, which of course is a lot easier said than done. But I feel like if you just assume that they're not coming back, and that may feel like a crummy thing to feel, because maybe you are living in hope, but sometimes the best medicine is often the hardest medicine to take. And sometimes assuming that they're not coming back actually relieves you and makes you feel better in the long run, because you're not holding out to hope. You're not sort of crossing down the days on your calendar, you know, doing no contact that way, you know, where you're crossing the days off like it's been 30 days since I last spoke to them, and you're sort of checking and keeping track. It's like you're no longer keeping track anymore, okay? When you've decided that, you know what, I'm done with them. And like I said, your ex will feel it when you are completely done, because you won't be making these mistakes. It might even just be an energy that they feel. They'll just be able to sense it. Okay, and then they'll have to do something to get you back if that's what they want. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christinelovage.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.